Hey friends, it's Mindee. So, I got a new bass amp. Woohoo! Daniel of Mod Pods was like, you should do an unboxing video. And I was like, who wants to watch me open a box? But maybe you do. And so I thought I'd film myself opening up a box that has a bass amp in it. Well, if I'm gonna do this, I thought maybe I'd give you a little bit of a history on Mindee as a bass player. In case you didn't know, I say bass is like my second best instrument after drums. And I have played it in a handful of bands. There was one in my house growing up, so in like first grade in elementary school, I'd mess around with it. In high school, I played the upright bass in concert band because concert band drums get kind of boring. You just have to wait your turn, and then maybe you get to hit the bass drum like 4 times in a song, you know. So that was fun, and yeah. After my first punk band broke up, Forever Donkey, the only time I've ever answered like an ad I saw on a like flyer, they were looking for a bass player. The band's name was Flux Ambassador. I was like 18, 19. I joined the band, played a few shows with them. That band wasn't the best. Probably I'll never answer a flyer ad again. But it's kind of like a band where there was a singer and a guy that screamed, and there was like turntables. So a little mixture of that. But one day, mid-practice, well, I got to practice, I showed up, and they were doing whippets. Okay. And then we were learning a new song. And I was like learning the new song, the guitar players were showing me the parts. It wasn't the best song. I was kind of like, I really want to do this. And then the singer that screamed, not the singer, the rap singer, but the scream singer, took off his shirt and he had a white pride tattoo. So mid-practice, mid-learning a song, I just quit. I was like, guys, I'm gonna quit now. They're like, what? I'm like, I'm gonna quit now. And so I walked out my bass, and I was really worried when I came back that they wouldn't let me back in to get my bass amp, but they did, thankfully. Yeah, so I'm gonna stand up for a second. Then a couple months later, I found out because someone looked at their website, and they basically wrote on the website, like, Mindee isn't in the band anymore because she sucks. And then they wrote, good luck working the streets, talentless whore. So working the streets means traveling across the country on a bunch of freeways and highways. Doing good there. The second band I played in was called Jerusalem Junkyard Band. And this, I was already in a couple bands playing drums. But my friend JT was like, I really want you, Mindee, to play bass in my band. So this band had some really good songs, Jerusalem Junkyard Band. And playing and learning those songs, I feel like up to my skill level a little bit. Really liked that band. I'm probably gonna forget something because I've been in a bunch of bands. But then after that, I started a band with my Sioux City prank calling BFF, the hilarious Heidi. And me and her wrote the songs together, so I wrote a lot of songs on bass there. And the name of the band was Bigger Than AIDS. That band was really cool. We got, a drummer, singer, guitar player as well. With her keyboards, it kind of sounded like the B-52s, but a little more punk rock. Really cool. And that is one of the bands I had to quit to move to Los Angeles. Which brought me to Los Angeles. When I moved here, I was trying to find a band to play drums in. Hold on, gotta get this out. Woo. I actually went to a bunch of shows. I asked around, I was like, what are the good bands? I went and saw the good bands, found bands I liked. I handed out flyers like, I'm a drummer, looking to drum, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't find a band to drum in, but I found a band that needed a bass player. So before I even played drums live in Los Angeles, I played bass with a band called Peg Leg Love. Wasn't in the band very long. I feel like I recorded maybe a 7-inch with them. And I think there's some videos of us on like KXLU on the internet. But yeah. And then, reason I got this, I play bass in Mod Podz, which, you know, Mod Podz is amazing. And we needed a new bass amp. I needed a bass amp because I only have a little practice PV one. And I feel like I own a guitar amp, multiple drum sets, guitars, basses. I just needed a bass amp, and then I have a complete collection. So there's a little history on Mindee and the bass. And here it is, my Fender Rumble 500 watt new bass amp. Got it at Guitar Center Brea. Thank you guys, shout out. All right guys, bye.